Just my email, I just said, it said my internet is unstable. So I might go out.
I got the same email, but my internet's been fine for all the work I've been doing. So who knows what's happening.
Palermo.
Hey, thanks for being here a little early. I think we're coming up on 4 o'clock, and it's going to take me a minute to get myself organized. So in the meantime, hello, Gail. Hello, Kelsey. How is life in your district, in your school?
Surviving. We're doing online, of course, and in the process of school is open today for the last day for students to retrieve any books or things like that they need. But we've gotten plans to ready for 2 weeks, and our office hours are 9 to 1 that we're to be on the computers. And so that's how we're kind of arranging it. Right now, review work.
Review.
Yes, we're doing just.
That's exactly what we're having as well. Review, and which is impossible when we started with acting and partner scenes, and we're in the middle of monologues when we left school last week. So we're flying by the seat of our pants. We just got an email from our principal that grades don't count, so don't bother doing them.
Wow. Certainly, the creative arts are going to require a lot of creativity going forward, and I'm curious to hear what you have to say about it. In the meantime, how are you doing personally, Kelsey?
Surviving is probably the best way to put it. Trying to keep my head above water. We just had to cancel our spring show based on the cancellation date, so I've been spending all my time working on that just to have it kind of ripped out from under us this past week. So finally having free time to catch up on stuff, though, is nice.
That's good. That's good. Hey, Shanda. Hey, Pam. And who else is checking in there? LaShonda?
Joyce.
Hey. Joyce. Joyce, how are things at your school? What's up?
Well, I heard Kelsey say grades don't count, and that's what we were told for these 2 weeks, review only. And then they'll let us know we're probably going to stay in third quarter. We've been learning some Canvas is the platform we typically use, but some of us do not use it. So I'm learning Canvas in the middle of all this and how to deliver classes through Canvas. And again, these are much like the performing arts. These are hands-on classes that I don't know how we're going to teach them moving forward.
Interesting. Okay. Pam, I think you may have just popped in.
Yeah, I've been on the phone with parents all day trying to collect information, and we're distributing Chromebooks within the district. It's just a hot mess.
Well, I'd like to hear more about your hot mess. And honestly, I wasn't sure if this was a good time to meet, but I wanted to reach out to y'all and
absolutely
tell you that my heart goes out to you for starters. All I have to do is sit at home and teach you, and you guys all have computers and are used to online. So this is going to be easy for me, but it's going to be hard, much harder for all of y'all. So
it's good experience, though.
Good experience, yes.
So when we start applying for online professor positions and they say, do you have experience? We can say, yes, we do. So that's the light at the end of my tunnel.
And another opportunity, because you can turn every problem into an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Is for us to look at some best practices for online instruction or for distance learning. For is there a best practice for putting together packets for kids who don't have online at home? I don't know, but certainly this is a puzzle for CNI people to figure out, and to try to do the best that we can to keep teaching and learning going. So
and stay sane.
That's going to be. I would like individually to check in with you, know that you're okay, know that we'd be able to meet this weekend, and tell you what my plan is for distance learning. So thanks for taking a few minutes, and I certainly won't keep you for an hour tonight. Kelsey, Shanda, Joyce, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Tiffany works in my district, and I know that the teachers who are brave enough to stay on campus at my site are there distributing Chromebooks and technology to students who don't have it at home devices so that they can access Power School Learning. They're giving out hotspots, and I know she's at her school distributing technology to those students, and I can't imagine they're just letting them drive through. And I'm sure that's
where Tiffany is. Has anybody heard from Mallory? You have any idea how Mallory Bricker's doing?
Last I heard, she had an indirect exposure to the virus.
That's right.
So they're self-quarantined at home.
Wow.
With 4 kids.
With 4 kids. 4 kids.
Okay. Well, that's interesting information too. Besides Mallory, who may be ill and quarantined, how are the rest of you physically? Doing okay?
I'm teaching from my couch, and I'm just doing what I can, and they keep loading stuff on. And I keep, at first, like as an EC teacher, what are my responsibilities? So at first they said, plan for your study skills classes. And you're going to have to interact with your inclusion classroom teachers. Well, like Miss Reyes, the one I'm doing my CDP with, she's Math 8 with me. She has 4 sections of Math 8. So she does 1 lesson and it goes over all 4 classes. Okay? It carries over all 4 classes. So here I am sitting here. I've got to work with Miss Reyes. I've got to work with Miss Adams, who's also 8th grade math. And I've got to work with Miss Quisenberry, who's 6th grade math. On top of that, I have an 8th grade math study skills, an 8th grade reading study skills, an 8th grade social skills class, and then another just plain old study skills work completion class. And on top of that, I've got 7 more classes that are taught by TAs that I'm still responsible for delivering online instruction for. How am I supposed to do that?
Planning for study skills for all those different subjects. I don't have an answer for you, Pam. But
there's not enough hours in the day.
So I wonder again how we could use Zoom or collaboration with folks in order to multitask the things that we are trying to do from home.
That's my 8th grade Language Live resource English language arts class. I'm actually, since we do Language Live, which is a direct instruction book when they have the workbooks, I've loaded all that into my Power School Learning page, and I talked to them on Friday before I let them go out into the coronavirus. And I was like, hey guys, do y'all want me to send your workbooks home with you? Or would you rather just me upload the pages onto Power School Learning and we have a Zoom meeting every day at 1 o'clock? And they were like, please have a Zoom. We want to be able to see you and make sure you're okay, Miss Moore. So I'm actually going to be using Zoom every day from 1 to 2 with my resource kids. And that's just, thank you for y'all teaching me how to use Zoom.
Good. Well, yeah. I'm glad you can do that. I'm going to try to learn a couple of Zoom tricks by this weekend using
please
sharing desktops and stuff.
I will be ready.
It is my hope that we are going to meet virtually this weekend.
Right.
And pretty much the same schedule, a morning block and an afternoon block on Saturday, and definitely a morning block on Sunday that may carry over. In part, I hope that we are still going to be able to do presentations of our various chapters from the Earl text. And I have my 30-minute chapter 1 presentation ready and have loaded it for you so you can see it if you want. And I'm trying to do it. I was going to have you break up into 2s and 3s in class. So we're going to try to break up into 2s and 3s in the breakout rooms and see how that works in Zoom. I'm going to go first and be the guinea pig, and we'll work out the kinks, I hope. And then we'll do a variety of presentations. I hope a couple on Saturday afternoon and maybe spread it out into Sunday morning as well, so that y'all get breaks and we get breaks. And so I do intend to meet this weekend. Is anybody going to have a problem meeting Saturday or Sunday?
Not at all.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So what is the plan for uploading the presentations and all that? Because I'm not as comfortable with that piece. So how do I plan on doing that?
I'm not interested in you loading the presentation at this point, LaShonda. I put mine there to be a model for you. I think it's an 8-slide PowerPoint with some embedded videos, and it's not very fancy, to be quite honest. There's one big idea that I pulled from Earl Chapter 1. One idea. What kind of future do you want? And I'm going to have you all reflect and talk about it. It's not real fancy. It's taking one of the big ideas, I think, the important big idea, I don't know, from Chapter 1 and expanding it, diving a little deeper into it. It's meant to have some fun and get some conversation going.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I think I'm sorry. This is Joyce. I think I have kind of the same concern because I had a couple of hands-on activities, a short video clip. Well, that takes up part of that time. Of course, I can pull the big idea and have people reflect, but I don't have 30 minutes of talk time just talking.
Let me see if I can share my lesson. Well, sharing the lesson plan is not going to help you. Joyce, this is going to test your creativity. You're going to have to try your best to engage us and involve us and not just do a PowerPoint presentation and talk to us. Again, Zoom does have breakout rooms. Has anybody ever used them?
No, and I don't know how to do a hands-on activity or show a video in them, so no.
I'm going to give you control of the desktop for Zoom when you're doing your presentation. At that point, if you have a video on your computer, you can show the computer to all of you can show the video to all of us. Whatever's on your desktop, we'll all be able to see. And again, I'm going to model that for you on Saturday morning if you want. If you want to wait, not present till Sunday, we can work it out. But yeah, this is going to be a test. And as much as we are being forced to move into an online environment, I think it'll be an interesting experiment for us in a safe community of learners.
Yes.
Because I'm not judging you, Joyce. You know, I'm not going to wag my finger and say that was a terrible online presentation for your very first time. This will be a place for us to learn how to do this and practice it and get better at it before we have to do it for our students.
Right. I mean, excuse me. I'm sitting in a car dealership because the car died yesterday too. So.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you being able to meet here a little bit before the.
Oh no, I said I gotta go get a meeting in. I said, y'all have to hold on. I gotta go get a meeting in. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
So again, this weekend, at least half of it is going to be your presentations, your little 30-minute blocks, and then I hope to debrief using that rubric. But you'll use the rubric to self-assess, and I'll use it somehow to assess some of your presentation. Should we use it as peer assessment? I don't know. Another question that I have for you is how much time and what kind of processes have helped you in the past for peer reviews? This is time. It's the time to do a peer review for the CDP and the PLCP, and for y'all to give one another feedback on it. What's worked for y'all in the past doing that?
If
Anybody?
we just exchange files.
Right. At this point, I would say exchange files. In the past, we've sat together and read over them and talked about them. But, you know, with that being off the table, I think you're right, Pam, exchanging, taking a look.
Kind of like we're doing with our person with our dissertation.
And how do you do that, Pam?
Okay, so what they call it, your critical friend, who we just, like Joyce and I are critical friends. So I'm reviewing her dissertation thus far and she's reviewing mine, and then we're going to trade feedback.
All right. That is something that I can set up. And again, it's time for a peer review. So I'm going to put in a block, I think Sunday afternoon. And y'all will go off on your own and do your peer review thingy. And we can do that in Zoom, but you can go offline and do it as well. Share your papers and then talk with one another. I'm going to put in about an hour and a half block Sunday for that. And then we'll come back together for a final debrief. But again, you should plan, please, for Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday morning for sure, for 3 blocks of learning in lieu of our Charlotte meeting. We're all going to save a little bit. Those of us who do drive in and stay over, I hope everybody was able to do hotel cancellations and get your money back. We'll save a little bit, but and I hope maximize the time that we're going to have together too.
Dr. Palermo, this is my daughter Mary, and she's doing her student teaching right now at Salem College in Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools. And Salem made the decision on this weekend to not allow them back into the school system for their safety. So I'm very interested in seeing in the coming weeks how that's going to roll out as far as her EdTPA completion and how they're going to allow them to graduate. Without all the clinical experiences, and I cannot wait to update y'all on that later as it unfolds for all of us.
We have 19 student teachers at Gardner-Webb in the same boat.
Okay, how are y'all approaching the EdTPA process without them in the classroom?
Just by grace of God, they all did their EdTPA submissions a week ago.
Okay, so Mary's final submission is due here in the next couple of days. So actually, she's got all of her EdTPA stuff pretty much done, right? Right. Okay. So, but like the hours, the
right. I don't know, and I think if somebody decides to waive that, you know, I hope you graduate on time, dear.
Dr. Palermo, I have a question.
Yes.
Will you share with us a schedule like you typically do for the weekend?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm working on it right now. I can tell you Saturday 9 to 4, Sunday 9 to 12 or 1.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, and yes, I'm working on that, and I have collaborated again with Dr. Curry from Alexander. We're going to be doing our thing solely as a cohort, as a group, but she's going to do pretty much the same thing with her group. And the instructors got together and decided on some norms, and I want to share these with you if I can. Let me see if I can share. Okay. Can you all see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Online norms for synchronous learning. This is as a result of a collaboration with Dr. Putnam, Dr. Curry, Dr. Kelsey Greer, a couple of others last night in a meeting. These are some things that we agreed to, and I hope that we, you and I, as a cohort, can agree to also. And here they are, just for better or for worse. You know, I haven't asked any of you to mute yourselves, but is anybody getting feedback and stuff?
No.
Okay, I'm just using my microphone on my desktop, but apparently headphones and a microphone will really cut down on feedback and stuff. So some people are muted. I could mute you. You could mute yourself and then just unmute when you're ready to talk. But anyway, headphones help. Let's see. Check your microphone, find a quiet, dedicated place to set up for the day when we're doing online learning. So I think those all sound like good ideas, and I'm not sure if anybody has any objection to any of those. Turn your video on. Now, some of us aren't there today, but when we get ready to see one another and learn together on Saturday, having your video on would be a good thing. Okay?
I have a question. Can y'all see me?
No.
No.
I think it's because I'm on my phone sitting in an office at Subaru. So, okay.
Probably.
Yeah.
I
Gail?
think, but when I'm on my computer, I don't have that problem.
Okay. Not everybody has a camera, but what?
Picture.
Kelsey's here.
Sorry.
Hey, Kelsey.
Thank you.
I see you.
Anyway. Ask questions and definitely do that today. One of the reasons that I asked for a synchronous Zoom meeting was I wanted to see your face and know that you're okay. I'm glad that most of you are. I'm concerned about Mallory now that you've told me about her. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, anxiety or expectations or ideas about the weekend are clear. And I do still hear some anxiety about the presentations. And so thank you for surfacing.
There's
Hey, Joyce.
Joyce.
Hey, Joyce.
Got it. And yes, I'm still anxious.
Okay. Here's something that Dr. Putnam brought up, and she used herself as an example. She said that she's the worst for being in meetings and texting and doing other stuff. You know, if we're doing strictly online learning, there are definitely going to be, there's going to be distractions. The UPS man is going to ring the doorbell, or your child's going to need something or whatever. Anyway, if you would limit the things that you can choose, like not checking your email or texting, that would be great. Do take breaks. Take breaks whenever you need it and step away. And when I'm Zooming with others, I'll mute my microphone and turn off my video when I get up and go to the bathroom or to the refrigerator. But if the presenter has not taken a break in an hour, I'm liable to do that just whenever I need it. One of our norms in class is misery is optional. Same thing here. If you need a bathroom break, please step away. I threw this one in. This was my contribution. What is appropriate attire for online learning? You all look appropriate to me. I took off my sweaty t-shirt and put on a collared shirt for the meeting today. So let's see what. Okay. There's the picture I chose to go. So it'd be a good idea, I guess, not to have your PJs on, or maybe that's a reason not to turn your video on. I don't.
I will confess I sat through our first virtual IEP meeting yesterday with my nightgown on, but I had a flannel shirt pulled over it.
Well,
nobody knew.
See that I'm wearing my shorts under my desk, and I'm not going to stand up, Pam.
Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other norms that y'all would suggest that you think we should add to this list?
No, I don't think so.
Well, again, these are our changing times, and we're going to need to figure out how to navigate in these different times. So anyway, listen, that's 20 minutes, but that's the whole purpose of my meeting today. Oh, I can tell you that, where is it? Here it is. There's a whole bunch of stuff now in Blackboard. I've been trying to load stuff into Blackboard. So I've put a bunch of stuff in here for the class meeting, and you can start to preview this stuff, please. If you would look at the this one, you take a look. That's going to be a WebQuest activity that we're going to do in class, and that's something that again, I think I can do as a distant learning thing. This is an article, and again, I was going to break you into rooms and have you read and discuss. Read it before the weekend if you can, and we'll make that activity go faster. I will not get to all of this stuff. I've just over-planned and put too much stuff in here again. But the big idea was to be Hattie and a deep dive into visible learning and to that Hattie and Hamilton and Hattie and Clark book, your feedback. We're going to do a shallow dive. instead of a deep dive. And I will add the lesson plan here by tomorrow. Promise you that. So, but again, it's going to start with me in the morning and us doing a variety of things Saturday morning. Presentations Saturday afternoon, some more presentations Sunday morning, and some Hattie and Clark thrown in there too. That's my plan for the weekend. And, if you
So
can plan
far-
something, still pull off something for your presentation for a half hour, that'll be
Sure.
great.
I have a
So
question.
for our, Joyce, were you going?
I'm sorry, what'd you say? Pam, what'd you say?
Okay, can I talk, or were you saying something?
That was me,
No.
Sean.
Okay, so for our discussion board responses this week, do we do the standards 1 and 2, or are those going to be class discussions? Oh, that's week 8. For week 9, okay, scroll down. Are we going to be doing the part 1 and part 2 of chapter 7 standards in a written form, or are those going to be included?
I don't know if you can see it, but I've blocked, I've hidden part 1. Part 2 is going to be a response, please.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
One discussion board for this week.
Fabulous.
Right.
No,
but it's
we
separate
probably
from
won't
class.
get to it in class.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to know, because on class weekends, I like to finish it up before we go, because once the class weekend's over, the whole, it's a blur. And then we still
Yeah.
have to prepare for online
No,
learning.
you're not going to be at school this year, maybe for standardized testing, but it's a question about testing security.
Right.
I had issues with test security at my place. I don't know. Maybe it was me.
I don't even know how to, okay.
Yeah, check out standard 7.9, I think it is, about test security, and think about what goes on at your school for EOGs, EOCs,
Mhm.
standardized testing. South Carolina, whatever test y'all give. Hey, what else do y'all have questions about?
I think I'm ready to go.
I'm good.
Check out that visible learning. I'm sorry, the Earl Chapter 1 presentation that I did. If you're curious or anxious about it.
I did look at it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay. And again, that's me. I love John Lennon, and so I threw John Lennon in there, you know. Show us what you love and include that as extended thinking for your chapter. Don't spend a whole lot of time on worrying about the content. Think about how it can be delivered in an online environment. And we'll learn something that we can use back in our districts.
Awesome.
That's all I got for y'all, folks. Who wants the last word?
I feel like I've talked too much already.
Wait time, 2, 3, 4. Goodbye. See you this weekend.
See y'all.
Saturday morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, see you all.